everyone, welcome to iExamB. In today's video, we will be continuing ahead with our mock test series which we have already started. But before we go ahead with that, do remember to subscribe to our channel and press on the bell icon so that you can stay tuned and stay updated. In case if you have any questions or queries, you can call us on this number or you can even contact us through this email ID. Apart from that, you can also visit our website wherein you will get all the details with respect to the various competitive exams. आज हम इस वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे इंसॉल्वेंसी एंड बैंक्रप्सी कोड से रिलेटेड मॉक टेस्ट एंड अंडर दैट द टॉपिक व्हिच विल बी डिस्कसिंग और कवरिंग इन द एमसीक्यूज आर द फास्ट ट्रैक कॉर्पोरेट इंसॉल्वेंसी रेजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस एंड द वॉलंटरी लिक्विडेशन ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट पर्संस. सो बिफोर गोइंग अहेड विद आवर एमसीक्यूज, मैं चाहती हूँ कि जैसा आप जानते हो कि हर वीडियो में जहाँ पे मैं एमसीक्यूज डिस्कस कर रही हूँ इस मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज में, आई गिव यू अ ब्रीफ ओवरव्यू अबाउट द टॉपिक, व्हाट डज इट मीन. ओके, सो इस पर्टिकुलर वीडियो में मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप मुझे बताएं what does the fast track corporate insolvency resolution process means and what voluntary liquidation of the corporate persons that means. So for this you can reply in the comment box of this particular video what does these two concepts basically mean. So do remember to reply in the comment box. Now moving ahead with our very first question of discussion for today. As per IBC, an application for the fast track corporate insolvency resolution process may be made in respect of the corporate debtor, and the various options are with the assets and income below a level which is notified by central government, with such class of creditors or such amount of debt notified by the central government, such other category of corporate persons as notified by the central government, either A or B or C, and the last one is either A or B, and the correct option for this is D, which is either A or B or C. So ये तीन हमारा करेक्ट ऑप्शन है. अब आप यहाँ दे सकते हो कि ये सारे ऑप्शंस में हमारे पास है as notified by the central government. So the central government has notified these and they are given under the rules which mentions the application for the fast track corporate insolvency resolution process that can be made in respect of the corporate debtor, which are classified as small companies, then the startups other than partnership firm, the unlisted company. Okay, and जो इससे related provision है वो तो section 55 में दिया हुआ है. fast track corporate insolvency resolution process application that can be made in respect of who all. Now the very next question is, fast track corporate insolvency resolution process shall be completed within a period of the various options we have over here: 90 days from the insolvency commencement date, 120 days from the insolvency commencement date, 90 days from the date of admission of application by the authority, 270 days from the insolvency commencement date. So these are the various options available with us. तो हमें पता है, हमने डिस्कस किया है कि जो CIRP था and all process were also needed to be completed within a specific time period. क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे कोड का ऑब्जेक्टिव apart from all other things is to complete the entire process in a time bound manner. So ये जो fast track corporate insolvency resolution process है, that is required to be completed within a period of 90 days from the insolvency commencement date. So हमारा option B यहाँ correct है. इससे related provision हमारा section 56 में है, which talks about the time period for the completion of the fast track corporate insolvency resolution process. Now the next question is, IBC provides that the resolution professional shall file an application to the authority to extend the period of the fast track corporate insolvency resolution process beyond 90 days if instructed to do so by a resolution passed at the meeting of the committee of creditors and supported by a vote of dash of the voting shares. So what is the percentage with which that particular resolution is required to be passed? So is the very question over here. So basically जो 90 days का हमारा period है for the completion of fast track insolvency resolution process, that can be extended if an application is made to the authority. Who will make the application? The resolution professional. On whose instruction the resolution professional will make an application to the authority? On the instruction of the committee of creditors when they go ahead and pass a resolution, and that resolution which will be passed at the meeting of the committee of creditors, that needs to be supported by a certain percentage of voting shares, and that is basically the correct option for this particular question is 75%, which is our option D. So 75% of the voting percentage that is required for any extension of the fast track corporate insolvency resolution process. Provision हमारा section 56 में दिया. Now the next question number 4 that talks about what is the extension period which the adjudicating authority may provide if an application is made to it and the authority is satisfied that the subject matter of the case is such that the fast track corporate insolvency resolution process cannot be completed within the specified period. So यहाँ पे हम बोल रहे थे ना कि extension हो सकता है अगर certain voting percentage से resolution pass किया जाए and all that was 75%. तो ये जो extension period है जो adjudicating authority को अगर application किया जाता है तो वो प्रोवाइड करेगी डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द सब्जेक्ट मैटर, बट दैट एक्सटेंशन विच द अथॉरिटी विल बी प्रोवाइडिंग, व्हाट इज द एक्सटेंशन पीरियड, टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट, एंड द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज नॉट एक्सीडिंग 45 days. So the correct option is option C, which talks about not exceeding 45 days, and section 56 जो कि time period for completion of fast track insolvency resolution process है, उसमें ये provision है subsection 3 में, that when the application is given to the authority and it is satisfied that the subject matter of the case is such that the fast track corporate insolvency resolution process cannot be completed within a period of 90 days, it may by an order extend the duration of the process beyond the said period of 90 days. So 90 days से ज्यादा extend कर सकते हैं, but not exceeding 45 days. Apart from this, एक और important चीज जो यहाँ इस provision में आपको नोट करनी है वो ये है, जो ये extension grant होगा that can not be granted more than once. So हमने other process में भी देखा था, the extension can be granted depending upon the matter, the case, but then that extension cannot be granted more than once. Next, our question number 5 that talks about dash who intends to liquidate itself voluntarily and has not committed any default may initiate voluntary liquidation proceedings under the code. So the correct option over here is corporate person. So corporate person, the option C is correct. Section 59 में provision दिया है voluntary liquidation of corporate person. Corporate person who intends to liquidate itself voluntarily and has not committed any default may initiate the voluntary liquidation proceeding under the code. Next is, what is the time period under the code within which the company shall notify the registrar of companies and the board about the resolution for the voluntary liquidation of the corporate person? And the correct option is within 7 days. Okay, so the company has to notify within 7 days of what? Of such resolution or subsequent approval by the creditors as the case may be. Provision is given under section 15. Then the question number 7 that talks about where the affairs of the corporate person have been completely wound up and its assets completely liquidated, the liquidator shall make an application to the adjudicating authority for what? Liquidation of the corporate person के लिए, dissolution of the corporate person के लिए, insolvency of the corporate person, either A or B or C, either A or B, and the correct option is option B, which is dissolution of the corporate person. Section 59 में इससे related provision दिया है. Next question is, as per section 2 clause 8 of the code, corporate debtor means. So ये term हमने बहुत ही frequently use किया अपने MCQs के discussion के through corporate debtor, but what does that term corporate debtor means is also important, and such other terms which we are coming across while our discussion, because these are the basic concepts we need to be clear when going ahead with our preparation for the various exams. The correct option for this is B, which is corporate person who owes any debt to any person. Question number 9 talks about the conditions to be met for voluntary liquidation proceedings of a corporate person registered as a company. So voluntary liquidation proceedings जो है corporate person का, that can be taken ahead, that can be done, but then there are certain conditions to be fulfilled. So which of the following options they are correct? And the correct option for this is C, which is both A and B. So ये दोनों जो है condition as provided in the options. Otherwise there are other conditions also which has been laid under section 59 subsection 3, which talks about the declaration from majority of the directors of the company verified by an affidavit, and this affidavit that will be stating that full inquiry has been made into the affairs of the company and they are of the opinion that either the company has no debt or it will be in a position to pay its debt in full from the proceeds of the assets to be sold in the voluntary liquidation. Company is not being wound up with the intention of defrauding any person. Then the other conditions to be fulfilled are declaration that will be accompanied by certain documents such as the audited financial statements, record of the business operations for the previous 2 years or for a period since its incorporation, whichever is later, report of the valuation of the assets, and then within 4 weeks of declaration, special resolution of the members of the company in general meeting is required with respect to voluntary liquidation of the corporate person and appointing the insolvency professional as a liquidator. Apart from that, resolution of the members of the company in general meeting requiring that the company is to be liquidated as a result of expiry of the period of its duration. So these are the various conditions. If they are fulfilled, then only the voluntary liquidation can be taken ahead. And moving on to our last question for discussion for today is the code is applicable to. So applicability of the code is also very important. We should be aware. And the correct option for this question is E, that is both B and C, that is LLP and companies incorporated under the Companies Act. Section 2 is providing about the application of the code, which mentions the companies, then LLPs, then any other company governed by special act, then the body incorporated under any law for the time being, as the central government will be notifying personal guarantors to corporate debtors, partnership firms or proprietorship firms, individuals other than persons who have been referred in. Clause E, in relation to the insolvency, liquidation, voluntary liquidation, or bankruptcy, as the case may. So with this, we come to an end for our today's discussion. But before I end the video, I would like to remind you that do remember to subscribe to our channel and press on the bell icon so that you can stay tuned and stay updated. This will help you to understand how the various MCQs can come in the various exams, how to go about the MCQs, what all to look into while solving any MCQs. These videos and the other videos we are coming up with. Stay tuned and prepare 50% faster with us at Exambee for your various competitive exams.